Okay, great. So I think we are ready to start in 1 minute. And let me send the link to our Discord chat. So this is just in case link to the YouTube translation, YouTube streaming, which will be there after the lecture. And hello everyone. I see your chat messages and you see my screen. Very good. Okay, so let's start. My name is Alex, and I am really glad to be here. So I am a teacher of the JetBrains AI School Club, and today we will talk mostly about the Python programming language, and we will discuss the JetBrains Academy plugin and your first homework assignment in the end of the lecture. Okay, let me start with main goals of our club. So the first goal is to understand basic concepts of machine learning, and of course deep learning and neural networks and so on. And then we will implement different AI models using Python, mostly Python, and PyTorch as library for neural networks training. Then one of the goal for us is maybe preparation for the international AI Olympiad. So of course, you need to be selected from your country to participate in the Olympiad. But I believe it is possible, and of course, you can do it based on the knowledge from this club. And maybe the last but not least goal is to make the first step. And after this step, you can continue self-studying. Of course, nowadays we need to study constantly. Okay, and every week you will have homework assignment. It's not mandatory, but better trying to do something to remember what was on the lecture, and also we will have a contests, or actually we will have 2 contests this semester. So one contest per 2 months, and this is really good for you to check what do you understand correctly during all the course. So the results of contests will show you the real level of your understanding. And our contests will consist both from theoretical tasks and programming tasks as well. Okay, and before we start, let me introduce our team of instructors. So you see me, I'm Alex, and in our team we have 3 students. So the Alexandra Fedorova now she's studying and working in JetBrains research and studying in Minneapolis University in Paphos. So Danila Bektimirov also is studying here at Minneapolis University in Paphos. And Artyom Makayan just graduated from our bachelor program, and he continues his study at master program in Bremen, in Germany. So this is our team. We are really happy to answer all your questions, both in Discord chat or here during the lecture, and so on. So now let's start. What is Python? And the first question is, why is Python called Python? The name comes from the British comedy group Monty Python. It's not it's not the snake. It's a TV show actually, and Monty Python is comedy group that created the sketch comedy television TV show, which was called Monty Python's Flying Circus, and the creator of Python, Guido van Rossum, was a big fan of Monty Python Flying Circus, and maybe he is now, I don't know. But he believed that a name of the programming language should be short, unique, and slightly mysterious. But also, he thought that programming language should be not only convenient to use and easy to learn, but also fun to work with. So let's have a lot of fun working with Python language. And what is it? So what is inside Python? So I have to say that the very important part of Python is so Python is really easy to start using. Here you see a link to the Google Colab, which is the environment with Jupyter notebooks here. For example, let me show you something. Something as PyTorch tutorial, for example. Here you see some text and code, and you can run the code inside this browser, and you don't need anything to start because you already have everything in your browser with the internet. And in general, Python is really easy to start using. You need only to use. Then Python language is free and open source. You can see all the code and you can dive into any part of Python to understand how it works. Next, so Python is almost portable. What does it mean? Why almost? So it is mostly portable from between different systems, for example, from Windows to Mac OS or Linux. So if you will write Python program, in most cases, it will work on other system, but not always. That's why I add a word almost. Sometimes you need to adjust a little your code to work on other system. Then for us, it's important that Python is high-level language. What does it mean? It is easier to understand what does low-level programming language mean. So low-level means that you are very close to hardware. For example, in C or C++, you need to manage memory by your hand, by your code, and you need to determine everything, how it is structured, how it is implemented and running. And this is not about Python. So in Python, you, I would say, you write what you want to do and not how. So Python runs code for you, and the code in Python almost like English language. You will see. We will see later. And this is why Python. We say that Python is interpreted language, not compiled. Of course, inside there is compilation stage, both in Python 2, but we think about Python as interpreting. We think about running Python as interpretation line by line. And you've already seen, so well suited for REPL, read, eval, print, loop. You can very quickly write your piece of code in Python, then evaluate it, so interpret and print the results, all your results. Okay, let's, if you know C++, for example, then you can understand that you can relate that when you switch from C or C++ to Python, you say bye-bye to pointers, to some brackets, to main function, and semicolon, and so on. There is no such things in Python. But what is it in Python? Let's look at the first example of Python code. And yeah, pay attention to the indents. They are really important because they are part of the syntax. So here we have, you see, one tab or 4 spaces, or 2 spaces. It's not important. The number is not important, but the existence is very important. So here you see for loop, 2 lines. And so in general have 3 lines, and in for loop we have only one if instruction. And you see here one indent is for loop, and the second indent is for if instruction. So let's run this program, and look at the program and read it in English. So for I in range, we simply understand that range probably is something about numbers, and exactly this is right. So range is about numbers from 0. We are starting from 0 to 5, including 0 and excluding 5. And actually here we will have loop through all the integers starting from 0, so 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the final element is 4, because excluding 5. And for each value, for each integer value of variable I, we check this condition. So if not, we understand that if not, this condition. And in brackets we have I. This is the sign of division, so divided. So this is I % 3 is the remainder of I divided over 3. So for 0, it will be 0. For 1, it will be 1. And for 2, it will be 2. And for 3, again, it will be 0. Because 3 divided over 3, And if the remainder is 0, then we print I to the power of 5. So 2 stars here means math power. So you see the result. 0, we miss 0, then we go to value 1, and 1 to the power of 5 is 1. You see here 1. Then we go to 2, and 2 to the power of 5 is 32. You see, this is the 5th power of 2. Then we again skip number 3, because 3 divided over 3 is 0, And then we switch to the last element, which is 4. And 4 to the power of 5 is 1024, So this is the same as 2 to the power of 10. Okay. Let's go on. Let's go on to the Python interpretation cycle. So suppose you have one line program, print hello. This is your code, Then inside Python, there is compilation stage, and you you get the so-called bytecode. Bytecode means code for actually for the processor. So it's almost binary code, but not. It's some intermediate stage. From your Python code, you get bytecode, and then after the interpretation stage, you will get the binary code, which will evaluate on your system, and you will get the result. Here we see string hello in our output screen or in our output cell. So in our system, yeah. So the program print hello simply outputs hello string to the output stream. And for us, it's like interpretation by line, yeah. So, but inside, of course, there is some intermediate representation. There is bytecode, but we will not dive into bytecode. So let's consider another example. Suppose you know that there is this mathematical formula and it is true. So this is the exponent of x, so e to the power of x. And suppose we know that the actual result, the value of exponent of x, is sum of these sequence. So this is the first term is 1, because k is 0, k factorial is 1, and x to the power of 0 will be 1. This is first term. Then the second term will be x. Again, we need to consider k equals 1, and the multiplier is 1 divided over 1 factorial, and x to the power of 1 is x. So this is the second term. Then goes third term, yeah. So the x to the power of 2 divided over 2 factorial, and so on. So this is sum of all terms, yeah. And how to model, to program this formula in Python? Let's create function. So we need to write def, which is the key word for function definition in Python. Then goes name of the function, e for us, so because of the exponent. And then goes all the arguments in brackets, as usual for the mathematical function. So here we have only one argument, which is x, and here goes the actual code of the function. So first line, we need to define initial values for the result sum underscored, for k and for term. We initialize them as 1, 0, and 1. And then goes infinite loop. So while true, we yield something. Yield is almost the same as return in usual function and in Python. So here we return value, but Python understands that we are here, and then we call this function again. It continues the running from this place. So after yield sum, we update the values of all the parameters, and again yield sum, so new value of sum underscored. Here you see so the first term is 1, and we yield 1. Then we update k to value 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2. Then we update the initial term by the next multiplier, and we again update the value of sum, adding this new term to the overall sum. Okay, let's run this code. So the argument will be 1, and we want to calculate the exponent of 1 here. Yeah, this is our generator. It is called generator in Python, generator object. But for us, the important thing here is, so firstly, before we call generator, let's again see that, let's look at the range of 5. So range of 5 is simply list of 5 integers. Yeah, so 0, 1, 2, and so on. And here I use next method of generator in Python simply to return new values. So return first value, then return second, or yield first, second, first, second, and so on value. And you see here for underscore for some variable name in range 5. So here I will get first 5 values of the generator exponent of x. And you see the first value is 1. This is correct. We have started from 1. Then goes next value. This is 2. Why it is 2? Because we are, let's look on the formula. Oh, yeah, because this is 1 plus x, and x equals 1. Yeah, so 1 plus x, this is 2. And we see here, yeah, so this is correct, yeah. 1 plus 2 is 2, and we see 2 here. Then we add third term to overall sum, and third term is 1/2, and here we have 2.5, and then these sequences returns us new values of the sum. Yeah, so let's look on the next 5 elements. You see 2.71 and so on, and the next 5 you see here 2.718, 2.18. This is perhaps something similar to you, and already next 5 elements you see here, it's almost no any changing. Yeah, so this is some value. What is it? Of course, we know we want to implement the formula for the exponent, and for x equals 1, the exponent of x will be simply e, so the value of e. And if you are good at, I don't know, literature or mathematics, then you definitely know that the value of e of the exponent is 2.7, then double year of birth of Lev Tolstoy, and then goes right triangle with equal length, and this is the answer. So we really get the value of exponent. Yeah, so our code is correct, and this is really easy to implement such formula in Python. You see on the seven lines approximately. Okay, let's go on. Let me maybe check the chat. Yeah, if something is not clear, then write in chat or say it out loud here. Okay, so the next part of Python language, you need to remember that everything in Python is an object. Any variable, any function, anything in Python is an object. And what is object? So every object in Python has ID. ID, it's you can think about ID as about address in memory address of your variable. So if you know, yeah, so all the computers have internal memory, and usually we use pointers, yeah, to the memory parts. And here it is what ID is some number which almost like physical address of your object or of the point where your object starts in memory, in computer memory. Then goes to every object has type. What is type? Actually in any programming language, a type is a set of values and operation on these values. Essentially, it's really similar to mathematics when we talk about integer numbers. Yeah, so we have set of values for integers, 0, 1, 2, -1, -2, and so on. Yeah, we know what does it mean that the value is integer. And we have operations or mathematical operations on integer numbers as addition, subtraction, and multiplication, yeah, for integers. And this is, in essence, the definition of type in programming. And the value. So the value is actual value of your object. For example, 1 as value of integer, or hello as well as value of your string object. And that's it. Yeah, so let's look at the code. For example, for constant 1, the ID is, you see, some number. This is the physical address of this constant in my system, yeah, in my Python interpreter. And ID of string value 1 is different. So because these are two different objects, integer 1 and string 1, yeah, but they both have IDs. And of course, you see type of integer 1 is integer class, and the type of string 1 is class string. So we see in Python that, yeah, different IDs, different classes, and of course, different values for the one. Okay, now let's discuss this example, a little bit tricky. So here I create two objects. The first one is A with value 2 to the power of 100. And the second object is B with the same value. You see, it's again 2 to the power of 100. But you see, here I want to check if ID of A is equal to ID of constant 2 to the power of 2 to 100, yeah? And the answer is false. So A and constant 2 to 100, they are different. These are different objects in Python, you see. So here, essentially, I have 3 different objects, A, B, and constant 2 to the power of 100. And moreover, the IDs of A and B are different too. Yeah, we see false here. But type of A, of course, equals type of B and equals type of 1. And this is integer type. Yeah, so they all have one and the same integer type, but different values. And here you see interesting, very interesting part, second part. So let's change the big integer 2 to the power of 100 to small integer 7. But all other code is the same. Yeah, A equals 7, B equals 7, and then we check all the same types and IDs. And you see here, ID of A is equal to ID of 7, of constant 7. It means that here in this cell, we have only one object. And all the variables A, B, and constant 7 simply point to one and the same place in memory. You see? So ID of A equals ID of constant 7, and ID of A equals ID of B. So essentially, we have only one object with value 7 and with one ID. It is because of internal optimization in Python. So Python, for us, Python don't want to create a lot of small integers, and it understands that we use the same value, and we don't need to create other object. We simply need to point to the same place in memory, and this is 7. So this is some optimization. We can even find the value. So you see here 2 to the power of 100 got false, and 2 to the power of 10, you see, we get true. So we can find the exact value of this optimization. You see, yeah, this changed the result. But of course, it's not very important for us. But this is interesting. Some internal thing inside Python and inside Python in your browser, or in my browser in this case, yeah. And also one instruction, A is B in Python is equivalent to ID of A, to checking ID of A equals ID of B. This is the same. And of course, if if A and B are 2 to the power of 100, then here we got false. And if we run next cell, then A is B is true, because they both point on constant 7 object in Python. Okay. Let's go on. Let's go on to the question about size of integer in Python language. So how do you think? How much memory integer takes in Python? Let's discuss. Yeah.
Depends if it's a small integer or a big integer.
Actually, in Python, we don't have any difference. So we simply have integer type. And the question is, so how much memory integer in Python takes? You are right that it depends. It should depend. Yeah, it should depend on the actual value. But let's discuss. So usually, in general, yeah, in any computer memory, we can we use binary binary values or bits, yeah. And 1 bit represents only 2 values. So it may be 0 or 1. Okay, so this is computer bit. And then we have always have bytes. Yes, so 1 byte is 8 bits, and with 1 byte we can already represent integers, for example, from 0 to 255. Yeah. Or we can shift our range from -127 to 127. Yeah, and you can check that the amount of integers is the same here. Yeah, so this is 256 numbers, and here it's the same. So 250, almost the same, yeah? 254 plus 0, which is 250, 255, yeah. And here we have one more slot, yeah? So we can either extend here to the right part and get 128, or here minus 128. But we can represent only this amount of values, yeah? So in general, not more than 256, because 256 is 2 to the power of 8. It's all possible variants, yeah? So all possible sequences of 0 and 1s with 8 elements. It is 2 to the power of 8. But of course, in Python, we want to represent big integers, all the integers actually, and maybe we can guess that it can be 4 bytes, for example, yeah, for one integer, or maybe even 8 bytes or 64 bits, it's the same for some other system, yeah, so depending on the platform. But the right answer, let's check. Yeah, let's check. We don't know yet. We don't know the right answer, but we can code it in Python. So we import this model, this libraries or package in Python, and it allows us to call get size of method for any object. So here we print size of x. The x is some object in Python. And you see, we want to return string. Here you see so-called formatted string or f string in Python. And the code here is the value of x, then dash, and the value of get size of x. And then we add bytes, because we know from the documentation that sys.get size of x returns size of object in bytes. Okay, so this is really one line function to print size of x object. And let's check. So size of int in Python for different ints, 0, 1, 10 to the power of 10, and so on. Yeah, so you see here different integers. Okay, let's discuss. So size of int in Python. For 0, it is 16 bytes. So not 4, not 8, 16, you see. For 1, it is again 16 bytes. But for 10 power of 10, it is already 20 bytes. Then again 20 bytes, and then 28 bytes for really big number, yeah, for 10 to the power of 30. Okay, let's think. So the question is why? What happens? Yeah, so why size of int in Python is different and actually started from 16 bytes, and then it increases, you see, it increases, so +4, +8 here, and maybe let's add something here. For example, if here I will write 10 to the power of 20, yeah? How do you think? Yeah, this is the 24 bytes, or some intermediate value. And you see, we always add 4 bytes. So what is going on? Why? Why does it happen? Let's discuss. So yeah, so much, not the same. Firstly, we need to check that 1, so the constant 1, integer 1, is object in Python. That's true. So object is keyword for the object type, or the most general type in Python. And yeah, we know that each object in Python has at least ID, type, and value. Yeah, so we need to store all this information even for constant one. It is Python object. It is not the raw one in your computer memory. It is Python object. It has a lot of information, and we need to store this information in our object. Now we will switch to the, this is Cpython open source realization of long object in Python. So actually, talking about the interpretation, your Python code needs to be interpreted. So you need to have some system to interpret and then to run your code. And so the most common, the most popular realization is called Cpython realization. And we can check. Here is the link to the GitHub, where you see actually C code. So this is long int representation header for Cpython, you see. And this is the documentation. So let's go through this. Let's go through this code. Yeah. So actually, long object in Python, which represents any integer, consists of 3 parts. So actually consists of 2 parts. Yeah. So the first part, PyObject variable head, is C macros with 3 values. So the first value is the object's reference counter. So this is again a raw integer in C, yeah, and this is reference counter. So for us, it's not very important, but it's some integer inside the long object. Then second part is the pointer to the type object. So each object in Python has type, and we need to know to get the type object for this certain type. And this is it. So in our C structure, we have pointer to the corresponding type object, which again needs another 8 bytes in memory. Then goes the extension field. So this is the size of our integer, object size, yeah? And again, it's raw integer number, usually 8 bytes, but this is the size of, actually this is the size of this array. So the second part of long object in Python is the actual value of our integer. And the actual value is the sequence, the array of all the digits. So here we have object size, and the last part, the object digit, is the pointer to the first element of array. Let's switch to the iPad screen and write the formula of the actual formula of what is going on here. So I stop share, and then I share the screen of my iPad. Yeah, great. Okay, so this is the same part of the code. Yeah, you see the Cpython long integer representation. And you see here the formula of the absolute value of Python integer, yeah, and let's discuss it. And this is the same structure. So you see Py object head. This is long object and value, long value. And long value is again the array of all the digits. So for your integer and some text, so number of digits, sign, and other flags, we will not use them for now. And let's discuss this formula also. What does it mean? The sum for I from 0 to n digits minus 1, and this is object digit I times 2 to the power of pi long shift times I, yeah? So what is going on? Actually, you have the very, very long binary integer, yeah? Here is zeros and ones only, because we are working with bits, yeah? And so on. How to store these really huge integer number or any so any size integer in your memory in this structure, yeah, so pi long value structure. Firstly, you cut all the sequence into parts, and each part should be either 15 or 30. So let's say that we have 15 bits in each part of the digit. So it means that we need to cut all the sequence into parts. So this is it will be first part, yeah, and this is ob digit 0, yeah, op digit 0. Then goes op digit 1, and so on. So here is I goes through 0 to size -1, yeah. So n digits -1, n digits -1. And the formula is, so let's start from the 0. This is op digit 0, and this is some 15 bits integer, yeah, here. And this integer, we need to, this one, we take it as it is, and we multiply on the 2 to the power of, so then I is 0, then this is 0, yeah? And 2 to the power of 0 is 1. So this is our first term. All zeros and ones here, but these are 15 digits, okay, bits, 15 bits. Then we add second term with I equals 1, yeah. This is second part of our number, integer number. So op digit 1, yeah, and we multiply it on the 2 to the power of pi long shift, which is 15 for us, times I. This is 15, yeah? And so on. So then next term will be ob digits 2 multiplied by the 2 to the power of 15 times 2, yeah? So this is 30, and so on. And we get the formula of actual value of integer, yeah, with any size. And of course, we can represent any integer with such long object in Python. Okay. maybe let's not so we don't stop here, but let's have a break here for, yeah, I suppose for 10 minutes, and then we will continue at 5 p.m. Okay. Of course, if you now have any questions or you want, you can write them, or even you can discuss anything. I'm here with my headphones.
Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you repeat what OP digit equals?
All digit, ob digit,
OP digit.
ob digit here,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so ob digit is an array in, here we are in C language, not Python. So this is an array, continuous part of memory with 0 and 1s, yeah? And each element of ob digit is, for us, is 15 bits integer, okay? So each element here is binary integer with a size of 15 bits.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, also I see one question in chat about the Lev Tolstoy part and triangle. It's something like a joke how to remember the value of exponent of e. Yeah, and we see here, so from on the one hand, the value, so we know the value of exponent, it is 2 and then 7, 1, 8, 2, 8, and so on. Yeah, this is double the the year, the birth year Lev Tolstoy, and then goes 45, 90, 45. This is the values of right triangle angles, or of angles for the right triangle. Yeah, this is mnemonic rule how to remember all the digits. Yeah, and the joke is, well, if you know Russian literature, then you will definitely know mathematics. Okay, yes, so we will continue in 5 minutes. Okay, great. So let's continue. Here I want to show you the demo about our assignments. And the first step is installation of PyCharm IDE. So here is the link. And usually you need to select the community edition. But if you have a license, and you can get license from with your school, so for school students and for university students, we have free license, and maybe it will be better to use PyCharm Professional, but community edition is also okay for all the assignments. And yeah, you see here instructions for Windows, Mac, and Linux. As usual, it is some console command. Yeah, and the first step is installation of the toolbox application. This is it. And then having the toolbox application, inside it, you can choose the PyCharm community edition and install it on your computer, on your system. Okay. After this, you need to specify a Python interpreter. Again, it's very easy to perform in PyCharm. And yeah, but you need to choose to do it. Let me show. So after these two steps, yeah, you will have PyCharm IDE. Let me show. Okay, so I have professional edition. I want to share. Yeah, sorry. This is it. Okay. For example, this one, yes, or some project. And it is how it looks like. If you are not familiar with any IDE, it is really benefit to learn more about PyCharm, about IDE features. For example, there is very nice course about IDE. Here you see onboarding tour, and this is really inside IDE. Yeah, let's do it in this window. And here is the not the documentation, but all the elements of the IDE. Here you see click to open project view. Yeah, hop. And we are in the project view, then we can open folders and so on. Double click to open welcome Py. It's really very fast, but you can know all the features of the IDE. It's very helpful for your future tasks and future work. So you will be much more effective with with this tool and with any IDE actually. So yeah, I recommend you to go through the steps if you have never worked in integrated developers environment. Here you see the Python interpreter settings. So got it, and I can see. I have a lot of Python different versions. You see for different projects, but yeah. But it's easy to understand, to see, and to use everything inside IDE. Okay, so this is the first two steps. Then, after installation and acquainted with PyCharm, you need to download JetBrains Academy plugin. It's again very simple step because you simply go to the marketplace and and put install to PyCharm. So it knows that you have PyCharm IDE, and of course I've already installed the JetBrains Academy plugin. Let me show. This is it. Okay, so and now let's return to the PyCharm project. For example, if I start with some other project or some empty project, then I want to learn Python, and I want to do it in Academy plugin. And if I download and install plugin, let me show, so Shift and plugins, for example, open all the welcome screen. You can check what plugins do you have, and here you see the JetBrains Academy. So this is it is enabled in my system, and it means that I can learn inside IDE. So here in file, I have learn and teach tab with different courses. So I want to browse courses here. Again, courses on marketplace, you see a lot of them, but we want to start introduction to Python. And here I need to open this course, and this is the second window with introduction to Python course. So the left part of screen is the same. This is project structure. You see the middle part is your code, and the right part is the task. So just some description about Python programming course. Then we go to the navigating around with, again, all the information about the system, about the IDE. Of course, we can, if you know everything, we can skip it and go to the first task. Here you see there is check button, and my solution is incorrect because I didn't change anything. And task is in the code editor. Comment the line with the print statement. This line should not be printed. Okay, so command slash or control slash is the comment in Python, and you see then check is okay. So correct. I solved this simple task. Great. And now I can go to the next task, and this is the actual Python tasks. And they are very simple. You can skim through if you already know Python, that's okay. But maybe you need to recall something about classes, for example, and objects, and so on. And this is the first assignment. So you need to go through these tasks and to submit them. Let's this is task assigned the word string to the name variable. Name, you see question marks here, name equals word. Hello world, then assign a new value. So we need to assign string, some string, hello Alex. And the third task is using chain assignment to store value 2 in both A and B. Here is the comment A equals B equals 2. Yeah, chain assignment. Okay, let's check. Yeah, congratulations. So the solution is correct, and we can again go next. This is the way how you need to solve almost all the assignment, not all of them, but yeah, it's important to to go through this exercise and to be sure that you can cope with all the problems in JetBrains Academy plugin. And yeah, so the last step, then you will go through all the tasks. Yeah, this is the link to Cognitera, and this is the invitation. So enter group learners of the club. Yes, let me join. Let me join. Of course, I see some edit here, but the first task is this one, introduction to Python. Let's go into this. So for you, you will have only read on the page, but we have video instruction with the same steps as I mentioned before. Then next task, it is really very important for us because here I am in Cognitera system. Yeah, I have my profile and my ID, of course, in Cognitera. And here we ask you to, yeah, to write your email. For example, my email over gmail.com. So this is the email of your JetBrains account. And then we link your ID in Cognitera with your ID in JetBrains account, your email there. And then we will upload your results from JetBrains Academy Marketplace to the Cognitera system automatically. But we need to match your IDs. It's very important. So this step is mandatory for everybody, even if you know Python proficiently. Yeah, so you need to make this step. And the last step is introduction to Python with slides. And I will add link to the video, to this video. And that's it. So your deadline is 8th of October. And here you can upload something describing your feelings after the solution. And in this fourth step, we, after deadline, will upload your score from 0 to 100. So this is essentially the fraction of correctly solved tasks from the introduction to Python. Okay, and then you see here NumPy, Pandas, other homeworks, and each week we will have next homework. So let's return back to the slides. Okay. And I think this is it. Yeah, this is it from my side. So today we will end a little bit earlier, but I will be glad to answer your questions.
Is it okay if I downloaded the JetBrains plugin via like and like in PyCharm in settings when you open plugins, like you could install plugins. Is it okay if I installed it
Yes, yes,
there?
sure. Yeah, that's definitely okay. You can even use IntelliJ IDEA with Python plugin if you want. So any IDE from JetBrains with Academy plugin. Any IDE works here. But of course, we will use only Python, so that's why I mentioned PyCharm. Okay, great. Then thank you very much for attention. Let's stop and see you next week. We will discuss NumPy and Pandas libraries. Yeah, see you. Have a nice evening and
Bye.
great week. Yeah.